This is Germany turn 1. They start with 30 IPCs. And in the BBR rules, most countries buy tech right off the bat. And it's 4 IPCs for each round of tech. So they're going to be advancing their tech research with 4 IPCs. They're going to buy an aircraft carrier for 16, an infantry for 3, and a transport for 7. They will be declaring a series of attacks around the board. So let's have a look at some of them. They will be attacking the Canadian Navy in Sea Zone 106 with U-boats from 117 and 118. They're, of course, also going to be coming into Sea Zone 110 with the U-boats from 103 and 108, plus the fighter from Norway, the 2 strategic bombers from Germany, and 1 fighter and 2 tactical bombers from Western Germany. They will also be attacking all 3 French territories in Europe. They'll be coming into Normandy, Bordeaux with 2 infantry, 1 artillery, 1 tank, and 1 fighter from Holland, Belgium. They'll be coming into Vichy, France, which is the new name for southern France on this board, with 2 mechs from Western Germany, 1 tank from Greater Southern Germany, and 1 tactical bomber from Germany. They'll be coming into France proper with 2 infantry, 1 artillery, 2 tanks from Holland, Belgium, 3 infantry, 1 artillery, 2 mech infantry from Western Germany, and then a fighter and a tactical bomber from Western Germany as well. I hope that's enough to take France, to be honest. I might be spreading myself too thin here. They're going to come into Yugoslavia with the 6 infantry and 2 artillery from Greater Southern Germany, and 1 infantry and 1 artillery from Romania, along with the fighter from Romania and the tactical bomber from Poland. So that should be all of the attacks. Let's start rolling some dice. For the attack on Sea Zone 106, the German U-boats U-79 and U-80 are going to try and sink the Canadian destroyer, the HMCS Algonquin, and the Canadian transport, the HMCS Prince David. So there's 2 2s. And both hits. So regardless of what happens with the destroyer, the Canadian Navy is sunk. So the destroyer shoots back and hits. So one of the subs is destroyed. This is the battle for Sea Zone 110. The German U-boats U-70 and U-71, along with 2 fighters, 2 tactical bombers, and 2 strategic bombers, are going up against the French cruiser Duguay-Trouin, the British cruiser, the HMS Norfolk, and the British battleship, the HMS Queen Elizabeth. Now in BBR rules, battleships have an aircraft, so they are going to get a chance to take a shot at some of these planes. And they missed all 3. So now the subs are going to get a chance. Each sub will target select a cruiser. Okay, so 2 cruisers are at risk, and they missed with both of them, so they're going to get full defense. So that's 2 3s and 4 4s. 2 hits. So I think we'll lose the French cruiser and we'll damage the battleship, so that we can get another defense roll. Okay. So, defense, there's a 3 combined arms, 2 4s. 3 hits, so that's both subs and 1 fighter are killed. All right, we will keep the battle going, obviously. This is going to be a 2 now. That's still a 4 because we have combined arms. So So we need 2 hits. 3 hits. So the Navy's killed, but they do get a defense. And they got a hit. So I think we will lose a tactical bomber. And the British and French naval forces have been taken care of. Oh, the English elected not to scramble, obviously. The battle for Normandy, Bordeaux. The Germans are coming in with an unsupported infantry, an infantry supported by an artillery, a tank, and a fighter. 4 hits, they only needed 3, so that's taken care of. And the Germans lose an infantry in the battle, but take the territory. Okay, this is the battle for Vichy. This is the one I'm actually worried about because I don't know if I brought enough stuff. 2 mechanized infantry at 1, 1 tank at 3, and a combined arms attack bomber at 4. No hits. That is not a good start. Whoops. No hits. Well, that's good news for the Germans. 1 hit. No hits. Well, again, Germans are getting lucky here. 2 hits, so that's the battle. But they do get a defense. No hits, so the Germans take the territory with no casualties. Okay, the battle for France. France has an anti-aircraft gun, so they're going to get a shot at the fighter and the attack bomber. And they miss with both of them, which is good news for Germany because, again, I think we're a little light here. So we have 5 infantry, 2 artillery supporting 2 mechanized infantry, 4 tanks, a fighter, and a tactical bomber. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Well, that's a good, well, wait a minute. 1, 2, 4, yeah, 6. So that's going to be the anti-aircraft, and 5 of the 6 infantry are killed. So that's not a bad start. Okay, so we have 6 infantry, 2 artillery, 2 tanks, and a fighter. They only got 3 hits. Okay, so this is good news for Germany. I was a little worried about this one, to be brutally honest. These guys are all killed. We lose 3 of these dice. Everything else gets rerolled. Only 2 hits. That was not good news. Okay, we'll lose the British artillery and the last French infantry. Okay, so 3 2s, 2 3s, and 4. 3 hits. So that's 2 infantry and 1 mechanized infantry. Okay, what do we got left? We have 4, 2 3s, and a 2. All right, we lose these 2, and we lose 1 of these. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4 hits, and there's only 4 things left, so that takes the territory. Defense, 2 hits. I think we will lose the 2 artillery, and we will leave the mech because it has more mobility. So France is taken. And finally, we have the attack on Yugoslavia. The Germans are coming in with 5 unsupported infantry, 2 infantry supported by 2 artillery, 1 tank, 1 fighter, and 1 tactical bomber. 2, 4, 6, 7, 8 hits. So they take the territory. I didn't really want to do that, but oh well. It's fine. A little bit of extra income. So 5 Yugoslavian infantry defending. Whoa! 4 hits. So that was costly. 1, 2, 3, 4. So they did take the territory, but it cost them a fair bit of infantry to do so. Okay, let's do some non-combat movement. First, let's land some planes. The 2 strategic bombers from C-Zone 110 are going to land back in Western Germany. The fighter and the TAC bomber from 110 are going to land in C-Zone 112 to be put on the new carrier that's going to be built there. All of the Navy is going to congregate in C-Zone 112. That's the sub from 124. The battleship and destroyer from 113 and the transport and cruiser from 114. Other planes are going to be landed too. The TAC bomber from Vichy is going to land in northern Italy. The TAC bomber and the fighter from Yugoslavia are going to land in southern Italy at the airbase. The fighter and the TAC bomber from France are going to land in western Germany. The fighter from Normandy Bordeaux is going to land in western Germany. And then we're going to move around some ground units. We will rail this anti-aircraft artillery from western Germany to Normandy Bordeaux. Oh, no, we can't do that, can we? No, we can't, because you can't rail into a place you just took. So what I will do, instead of doing that, I'm glad I caught that, because again, that was a mistake. Instead of doing that, what I'll do is the 2 artillery in West Germany are going to move into France because they can just walk in. 2 infantry from Germany are going to move into West Germany. 4 infantry, 1 artillery, and 1 anti-aircraft are going to go from Germany to Poland. 3 infantry, 1 artillery, and 1 anti-aircraft artillery are going to be railed, and I can do this one, 2 spots to Romania through Slovakia. 1 guy from Romania will move into Bulgaria and claim that, and 1 guy up in Norway will walk into Finland and claim Finland. I think that's all the movement. So let me tidy up the board and I'll be back with money and placements. In terms of placing the new units, my new infantry is going to go into Germany. My new aircraft carrier is going to be placed in C-Zone, I think that's 112, if I'm not mistaken. And then my new transport is going to be placed in C-Zone 112. Okay, in terms of income adjustments, Germany is going to go up 4 for France, 2 for Normandy Bordeaux, 2 for Finland, and 1 for Bulgaria. So if we go over to the income tracker, that was 1, 2, 3, 4 for France, 1, 2 for Normandy, 1, 2 for Finland, and 1 for Bulgaria for a base score of 39. France goes down 6 from 19 to 13, but their income is not going to matter at this point because Germany took all their money. So just the new mechanic here, you'll notice a lot of different roundels on the board. All of the French territory in Africa becomes Vichy. And the Vichy territory here actually becomes Vichy as well. In an armistice with France, Germany does not take the territory or the income. And one of the infantry regenerates here and stays there. So basically the way these work are, these are sort of kind of like pro-axis neutrals now. Now Germany can't just walk in and take the territory, but the Allies can come in and fight and take these territories if they want. Now it does freeze all the French units on the board. They can't move now. They can't do anything, which also means, by the way, that these ships are now neutralized. So Italy doesn't have to worry about those, and there is no convoy happening here, A, because Germany doesn't actually control this, but B, because these are no longer belligerent units. So that's kind of an interesting new dynamic. So again, Syria as well. The only French forces that do not become Vichy are the ones with allied units. So that's the UK French forces are now Free French, and they will continue to fight as they're the only ones that can do anything on the French turn. But in French Indochina, this is a Free French force as well. I've changed the roundel there. That's the only one that doesn't change. But all of the other French units on the board, especially the ones in Africa, are now Vichy French. So that's kind of cool dynamic. Okay, so in terms of income for the Germans are going to be collecting a fair bit of money this turn. They have a 39 IPC base income. They collected 19 IPCs from the French Treasury, and they have 3 bonuses. They have a 5 IPC bonus for not being at war with Russia. They have a 5 IPC bonus for controlling Denmark and Norway while Sweden is neutral. And they have a 2 IPC bonus for being in an armistice with France. So again, Italy doesn't really have too much to worry about at this point from the French forces. Now, they can't take the French forces, but they don't kind of need to, because they're sort of allied with Vichy now. So that's going to be interesting with the dynamic on the northern African part of the board. So we'll see what happens. I'm curious to see how this Vichy French dynamic changes the game. Anyway, so that was Germany turn 1. Reasonably successful turn for Germany, I would argue. They lost a couple of planes, but other than that, they took all the territories they needed to take, and they got rid of the navy that they wanted to get rid of. We'll see if they left too much UK Navy up there at the top of the board. But again, they had to make some decisions about what they wanted to do. So we'll see what happens. Russia's up next. USSR, turn 1, coming up in the next video.